So I'm going for a Bighead Carp this time. It's the Sura map. I don't come here very often. I'm using the big halibut pellets with crab and mussel, which has a slower bite rate, but you can potentially get a bigger fish. And the other option is to use grass cake, but I haven't tried it recently. Starting with 2 smaller carps and waiting for a bigger. Okay, the third fish I'm getting is definitely bigger. Of course, it got hooked on the caliber, not the other 2 Vengas. There is an unwritten rule in RF4 where you always get the biggest fish on your weakest setup. Let's see how big this one is. And this rod is also not the best. I'm only using it because of the PVA. It gives a 5% bonus. Oh, you could see the cage icon. They are turning into red. Hopefully the fish doesn't go away and we fight with it for a while. My caliber is burning, which is a good sign when you go for carps. It would be easier on the other 2 reels, but at least I'm getting some action. I don't want to turn down my friction brake for now to not get spooled too much, but I may do that later. Burn, real burn. Here this spot is a bit tricky. I don't want the fish to get over the left side too much, so I'm gonna run towards it. Still gotta be careful with slacking the line while I'm moving. It's always fun fighting carps with the caliber. If I'm to guess, this carp has potential to be around 30 kg. But it's still early fight, of course. Let's see how long you continue fighting. The longer it fights, the bigger the carp. On this spot I've seen bighead, silver carp and wild carp, but the bighead carp is definitely the most active from the 3 with these baits. And it's the one I want. Give me a big head. Okay, now we got the carp to the right side, which is better. We have more space to work with over there. Still burning my reel from time to time, but started at 5% friction brake on my caliber. So I have enough time until it dies. I will speed up the video here for some time, so we don't watch for 1 hour. I'm fighting carp. It doesn't give up yet, still being aggressive. I started checking my friction brake from time to time to see how it was going. I think first it was around 12% and then went up to 17%. I was in a good spot here, right in the middle. It's where I wanted the fish to be. I turned down my friction brake down to 16 for a little bit to reduce the tear, but then I put it back up, so we don't get spooked too much. Actually, on this spot, I got a silver carp trophy some months ago. Again with a caliber. Let's see if I can get the big head as well. I fished on this spot 2 times this week for like an hour, but didn't get too many big carps. I think the biggest one was around 20 kg, and this one is definitely the biggest. Usually I don't like fishing here with calibers because they get wrecked after a big head. But I thought, okay, I have 2 Vengas, so why not? Can I risk with just 1 caliber? I had to run here to the right a lot because the carp was pulling me, and I don't want to get too far away from me. Also because if it gets out of the border, you lose it, and this map is not that long. So just stay a few meters in front of the fish. So you pull it in the opposite direction, and then if you're on the right, then the fish will go to the left. That's how you control it. At this point, I think it started slowing down a little bit. But we have some time until the fight is over. So now again it started going to the left side of the river, so I'm not too worried if it's away from the borders. Okay, here already the fish is pretty dead, so I just need to pull the weight. The problem is with my rod and the caliber, it's also worn out nicely, so gotta be careful. So I locked my reel here a few times, but my mechanism is getting pretty worn, about 40%. So it gets dodgy, and I start just reeling on the friction brake. And I'm running again, not to lose it. It went too far from me, so I'm trying to get it back. And see how close is the fish now. You can even see the carp on the top of the water a few times. It's the final push. I'm very close to the borders of the map, but I think I'll get it. Yeah, it's just friction brake reeling here. I just didn't want to risk it locking again. And here we are. Took me almost 40 minutes to get to this point. It's a big carp, that I can tell. Oh. Ooh, I made it. 40 kg carp, that's my biggest. The caliber rocks once again. And here is the spot followed by the setup. So that's about it. New trophy in the collection and some silver. Hope you liked the video. See ya.